Rest of pretty hard mode is a breeze. You can grab summoner potions for extra summons. You can spam cast the imps. Just every time you cast, they'll pretty much immediately attack, so you can basically use them like a weapon, as long as you have the mana. So mana regen potions are pretty powerful. Pretty hard mode for a summoner. Why is it that rare? Because it's always been that rare, and they just kept it that way. Originally, Summoner was not really a fleshed out class for a little while. It took them a few patches to really flesh it out, make it a viable class, but now it's definitely one of the strongest. No, I think we have enough. Alright, next question is... The Hollow. I've not actually been to the Hollow. And, yep, look, it's right there. That's annoying. Well, I guess we aren't going to have any Prismite quite yet. Hey, Swinzel. How's it going? Welcome. Yeah, that works out pretty well. Don't need Orichalcum for anything, don't need Cobalt for anything. The gold might have a use. Bait definitely has a use. Alright. Potions. I'll keep the bug net on me. Any other potions I can make that would be useful? A few of these would be good. You're looking for some more life root? Been good? Glad to hear it. Those felt too squishy? Well, there's a trick to it. Make use of your... what do you call it? Your vanity slots on your accessories. So basically what you do is you have one set of accessories that are all menacing and all add damage in some way, like a menacing summoner emblem, menacing avenger emblem, things of that nature. Make sure all those are menacing, and then have your other set of accessories with things like your boots and your wings and your shield, stuff like that. Have those all be warding. Every last one of them be warding. Don't worry about accessories that give you extra summons. Just ignore those. You don't need them. There's never a need for them. So do all those things. Then what you do is make a little room with a bat statue if you have one. To give yourself the Feral Bite. Feral Bite debuff. Feral Bite debuff gives you a 10% damage boost. So what you do is you switch on all of the accessories that are menacing. Or I forget to do that. I'm going to switch them back. But yeah, so you just right-click them to switch them. Use like a switch with like a wire to hook up the bat statue in like an enclosed space. Let the bats give you the Feral Bite debuff. Once you have it, go ahead and do your summons. Then switch all your accessories back. Your summons will keep the damage that they had when you had the damaging. Like their damage is set when you summon them. So once you've summoned them, you could freely switch back to your defensive gear. Now, if you're wearing a summoner armor set, you do need to keep that on. Otherwise, you'll lose out on the summons themselves. So yeah, by doing that, you can have a very defensive, I mean, you could add what? 8, 16, 20 defense just by accessories, not including like 2 defense from an obsidian shield, another 2 defense from Shield of Cthulhu, things like that. You can add a fairly significant amount of defense. And the late game armor that you want to stick with is the Tiki set. Don't even bother getting the Spooky set. It's not worth the effort. Tiki set's just fine. I mean, I've beaten Moonlord with spider armor on. It's definitely doable. But yeah, if you do that, you don't have to sacrifice your damage to have some decent defense. I mean, you won't have like melee level of defense, but you'll easily have about as much defense as you would being like a ranged character. And I would also highly suggest Cross Necklace and Master Ninja Gear for endgame accessories. Those 2 accessories are phenomenal. Between the 2 of them, you will not get hit a surprising amount of time. Like, even just avoiding, just missing 1 thing of damage from Moonlord when he's using, like, his, you know, if you mess up on dodging a death beam or something. I mean, you just avoided taking, like, 200 plus damage. So, very useful accessories. Cross Necklace is, in my opinion, the most useful and strongest defensive accessory in the game. And also, unless you're rolling in money, I wouldn't bother making the Star Veil. This Cross Necklace is like a couple of silver to reforge. It's super cheap to reforge, and you don't really get much out of the stars. A good guide for Summoner. Yeah, I mean, some of those things that I think could apply to any build. Like, I would love a Cross Necklace right now. I would really like to get one before Plantera, but if we don't, we don't. Nope, there's a turtle. And another one. Shell, please. Nope. No shell. Now, with a summoner, you might be tempted to do Queen Bee as soon as you have a weapon. I would suggest doing Eye of Cthulhu before Queen Bee. The Shield of Cthulhu can be very, very helpful in that fight. Alright. Just double checking where we're going. And buff. Oh, that's a lot of hornets. Hey, another hornet banner. That I like. Hello, nurse. Okay. Go ahead and throw another spider out here. Drop these guys down. Go ahead and do that. Don't have a timer for that, so ignore that for now. Go ahead and drop that. we go. I'm gonna go looking for life fruit now. There's one. Life fruit and hopefully a turtle or two. Also locating a Plantera bulb is a good idea. What summons in hard mode? Spiders first, and honestly, me personally, I use spiders until you get tikis. Like pygmies, sorry. I use spiders all the way up until after Golem. Spiders got a serious buff in 1.3.4. Their tracking and targeting is far better than it used to be. And they're really good at dishing out damage. Now, for a lot of enemies, the pygmies will do more damage once you get them. But obviously, they're going to have a hard time targeting things if you're flying around. So you probably want to keep the spiders on you too. As for like post Golem, I would definitely suggest trying to get the Xeno Staff from the flying saucers. Xeno Staff is pretty amazing. You can wreck Duke Fishron with it. They're great for the pillars, and then obviously you can just use Stardust stuff for Moonlord. Or you can wait to do Duke Fishron until you have the Stardust, if you want. Another thing to remember is the mount you get from Duke Fishron in Expert Mode. When you're in the water, you get a damage boost. You can use that when you're doing your initial summoning as well. It'll stack with all the other damage boosts. That's one of the few times I would actually suggest doing Fishron before Moonlord. It's for that expert mode drop. Still no Plantera bulb. It's a life fruit though. Oh, there's one. Okay. Now, in relation to our arena, not too far. Stardust Dragon or Cell, either one, really. They're both pretty amazing. If I were you, I would just take your pick. Or use some of both, that's fine too. They're both pretty phenomenal summons. Obviously, as far as pillars go, you should definitely do Stardust first. Also, when you go to do the hard mode jungle, if you've been doing the Dungeon Defenders, like crossover stuff, you get yourself the Ballista Rod, like the Tier 2 Ballista Rod. It does around 150 damage or so. And you can spam cast it like you can the Imp Staff. So when you're down here in the jungle, which is normally a very difficult place for a summoner, you can use the Ballista Staff like a regular weapon. So like these guys down here, if I didn't want to deal with them or my summons were having a hard time tracking to them, I could just spam cast the Ballista Staff and the Ballista will fire every time you cast it. Thus, take care of those guys around the corner. Things like that. Sandwich Dodo, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Just answering some questions about doing a summons only run. Or just the summon build in general. Wondering why I was blathering on like a silly person. As for what I'm doing right now, basically just making a nice clear path back to our arena. From that Plantera bulb, kind of killing time. I get a Death Sickle, dropped from the, what do you call them? The Reaper enemies in the Solar Eclipse. We had a Solar Eclipse, like 3 in-game days ago, 4 in-game days, something like that. I don't remember exactly. Yep, Death Sickle. Xeno Staff, but how does that clear invasions? Solar Eclipses? No, you get Solar Eclipses as soon as one mech boss is dead. However, the enemies are tiered. There's 3 tiers to the Solar Eclipse. Tier 1 happens as soon as you've killed one mech boss. There's a chance of it occurring. It's all a chance. It's not guaranteed to happen. So you can have a chance of that happening. There won't be any real interesting drops. You mostly get just like fighter AI mobs, just like the generic like the worst enemy you'll come across in the tier 1 is the vampires that fly around. Tier 2 happens after you've killed all 3 mech bosses. Once all 3 mech bosses are down, you'll get Mothron and the Possessed. You also get the Reapers, and I think a couple of the other newer mobs that were introduced. And then tier 3 is after Plantera has been killed. Yeah, you can summon it manually once you've been in the Lizard Temple with the fragments. But yeah, you can't get the Eye of Cthulhu Yo-Yo until after, let's say it's after Plantera. Mothron will not drop it. You can, however, farm out a Terra Blade if you really wanted to. Also, you can definitely go in the dungeon early. Lizard Temple early. I'll show you right now. So we have not killed Plantera. I do not have a key. However, it doesn't need to stop me. All you need to do, place a couple platforms, come over here with a hammer. Don't get killed by this turtle. I see you, turtle. Don't think that I don't. Nope, no turtle shell. Do need one of those. Anyway, come over here with the hammer. Hammer each platform so it's making a stair facing towards the door. Oh, there's a spike blocking the door. And all you gotta do is walk into it, hold down and forward, and look at that. Now I'm in the Lizard Temple. Deadly Spheres, they do good damage, but they attack really slowly. I would say for situations where you're not flying around, pygmies are far superior. However, they're not a terrible option if you're going to be flying around dodging things. Yeah, so you can just come in here right now. If you wanted to. We're not going to do this, though. If you want to get back out, you can just recall, or you can make another one on this side. That is called a hoik. It is a glitch with collision. Hex? What do you mean hex? So if you were doing like a sword-only run, I would highly suggest going in there and getting some tablets and farming the solar eclipse before fighting Plantera. Get yourself a Terra Blade. You're doing a sword-only run. That would be my suggestion. Because otherwise, the best sword you can have up to that point is the Frostbrand, which is okay. But let me tell you, I've done a sword-only run up till... Well, we didn't finish it, but... up to post-Golem. And some of those boss fights are absolutely ridiculous. At least until you get a Terra Blade. Right now, I'm just kind of doing anything goes, expert hardcore. And I kind of forgot what I was working on. What were we working on? Life fruit? Honestly, we probably have about enough. Kind of waiting for this jungle grass to grow. Yeah, so like right here, we're no longer in the jungle. We'll have an enraged Plantera on our hands. We try to fight here. Wait for that grass to grow. Waiting for grass to grow. How exciting. We can place down the rails. Too many items. Also place some of this stuff down. Have one of them there. Drop that there. There. That seems good. Now, the reason I'm using rails instead of platforms is just because I don't want a bunch of other mobs spawning in here. And enemies cannot spawn on rails. And they're mostly just here to help me stay airborne, so I can grapple. Also help me speed up. And just kind of fly around. Dodging Plantera. But, you can always use platforms instead. You just might have some other enemies decide to spawn in. Don't you worry, turtle. I'll be there to murder you in a moment. Good to know. They're confusing? Really? I don't know. I know a fair number of good Terraria streamers that I would recommend checking out. If you want to know how to do things fast, I would recommend checking out the Video Game Badger. definitely good for your speed runs. He also does some crazy challenge runs on occasion as well. Also, Fuzzle's Bigfoot is also very good at the game. They're both nice guys. I would highly recommend both of them. But thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that quite a bit. Oh, also thank you for the follow. Yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. I'm just kind of looking for droning on. Hey, ZRZ. Good to see you. Alright. Let's continue to have a look around for life fruit. And honestly, I think we're kind of on the edge of the jungle. So let's go this way. Plantera bulb. We'll do Plantera fairly soon. Pretty much have everything we need. Like maybe 2 more life fruit. And the turtle shell. Still need the turtle shell. Not super keen on doing Plantera with adamantite armor. This is a hardcore run. Better safe than sorry. Chlorophyte armor? Nope, skipping chlorophyte. I pretty much always skip chlorophyte. I also have like a stack and a half of chlorophyte back at the base, so don't really need to mine anymore right now. Unless I decide I want to use chlorophyte bullets at some point. Why not cactus armor? I couldn't tell you, ZRZ. I have no idea why I'm not wearing cactus armor. Cactus armor. Ooh. Still don't have a aglet though. This far into the game and still no aglet. Feels bad. Feels bad. And our jungle is kind of small. Yep. I mean, I just need 1 more for now. We'll eventually need 2 more than I currently have, but 1 is fine for now. What I'll do is I'll just make the turtle chest piece and leggings and then use the hollowed helm. Later on I'll want to make beetle armor though, so we'll eventually need a 3rd turtle shell. What you doing, turtle? Not a shell turtle. I mean, we could probably do it with adamantite. I just would feel a lot more comfortable with the turtle armor. Why do I have glow sticks in my inventory? Get out of there. Does the enemies target you buff? I mean, it does that, but that really only works in multiplayer. It doesn't really do anything in single player. Well, ZRZ, it's too late for that. Excuse me, sir. Need you to not hit me. But thank you for the turtle shell. Inventory is currently full. Can you get the third one right now? No, of course not. Alright, well, we got that other turtle shell. And I see a life fruit down here. Let's say we're just about ready. Just about ready. Excuse me. I think you need to just go ahead and die. Thank you. Life fruit, where you at? I'm gonna Plantera ball. Hey, there we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of here. Alright, made the legs correct? Yep. There we go. Do slightly more damage, actually. With the adamantite set. However, do 10% more crit. 11% more crit. Only losing 1 point of damage. Say it's worth it. Plus we get like 20 more defense. Got one of those. Get that. Of those two. Still no aglet though. Lack of an aglet is a little frustrating. Don't need the seeds. Yep. And honestly, you get more damage out of wearing a different helmet than the turtle helmet. Hollowed or glorified or adamantite or even titanium. Any of those would be better than wearing the turtle helmet because the set bonus is kind of garbage for the turtle armor. And it really, its only practical use is as a stepping point to get the beetle armor later. Let's see. Potions. Not really a whole lot going on here, potions-wise, is there? Heart reach, I guess, maybe. Is that really gonna help? We could set up a... Yeah, actually. Good idea. Try to make up for our lack of a... what do you call it? Cross necklace. Why I was blanking on the word there for so long. Chain away somewhere. Old hard mode armor is so much worse than new ones. Indeed. Lewis, how's it going? Or sorry, Luis. I don't know why I called you Lewis. I know better. Addy less than titanium? Well, yeah. Titanium's the best armor in the game. ZRZ will try to convince you that it's cactus armor, but titanium armor is definitely the best armor defensively in the game. How are you doing, Luis? Anything else? I think we're pretty much all set. Throw a couple of those down. Just got to hard mode. Got all original hard mode ingots. Well, I mean, adamantite's fine. It'll work. Titanium's just so much better. I mean, honestly, you could easily just stick with titanium armor for the entire game once you have it, but I'm doing all right. I feel like I need to sneeze. Otherwise, good. Alright. Well, we could definitely do more damage if we wanted to, with our spoilers. It's not really a big deal. Go fishing a lot. You can do that if you want to. You can still get the other ores from the crates. However, I personally wouldn't bother unless you really want them. I don't know. Pretty time consuming. But, you know, do what you want to do. Okay. Yeah, it should be fine. Did set my spawn point right? Yep. What are we doing on this jungle grass? Dang it, that's the only thing we're waiting on now. It's the old jungle grass. Two lakes on your surface? Oh yeah, don't use a pre-existing lake unless you really want to. Also, you can just make your fishing spot underground if you want to. Yeah, just make your own. It's pretty easy to do. If I had a bucket on me, I'd show you how to dupe water, but we'll do that in a little bit here. Man. Jungle grass seeds. Yep. So 10 by 30 square area. It's really all you need to dig. Sure wish we had the flower boots. Would be useful. Alright, cool. Say this arena will work out just fine. The exception of the, this part here. Hey, King Slacknose. Welcome. So here's the problem. If we fly into this area during the fight, Plantera is gonna enrage while we're in this area, and she'll get super fast. So... not great. There's not a whole lot we can do about that either. Can't mine those are temple blocks. Don't have flower boots, so I can't just make the grass grow. It's gonna be a minute. Game is trolling me. So many mimics. Not a single cross necklace. Jungle grass seed. Speed up the process a bit, maybe. Yep. Gonna work. Hollowed spawn next to my crimson. Got crimson and a hollow mimic to spawn at the same time. Ha! That's pretty funny. I like it. Pretty funny. Yeah, I've had some weird ones, like when we had the Chaos Elemental spawn when I was farming King Slimes for souls, and he dropped that Rod of Discord. He spawned nowhere near a hollowed biome. I don't know where he came from. Just showed up, made a joke about him dropping a Rod of Discord, and then he did. Come on, game. Give me some jungle grass seeds. Take a turtle shell too. Thank you. Alright, so we don't have to farm turtles anymore. Pretty nice. Of course, now we'll get like 8 of them in the next 5 minutes. Watch. Crazy Craft, how's it going? Welcome. Hey, life fruit. Still no jungle grass seeds. Wish there was a way to speed up the growth of the grass. Yep, nice of you to join us. Be fighting Plantera here soon. Well, can't really afford to not utilize that part of the arena. wonder if chlorophyte counts towards the block requirement. Actually, let's find out. I don't think it will. Yeah, I need to wake up. Why am I fighting Plantera? Because we need to progress. See if we get a music change. No? Yeah, it definitely doesn't count. Crimson or Corruption? Depends on the run. Depends on what I'm doing. Just a really small area. It's not quite jungle yet. Getting there, though. Like right here. That's your favorite part, Grey Wolf? Yeah? That's your favorite part? Telling me is you have some masochistic tendencies? Yeah. Pretty much no choice but to wait for that to grow. You don't need it, you get loads of it. Yep, that's how it works. That's how it works. I got it on your 8th solar eclipse. 2 of them with the same prefix? Really? Wow. Unlucky. Shouldn't be that rare. I mean, come on, we can't be that far off. It's gotta be just like a few blocks worth of jungle that we're missing. Well, we could try it anyway. Thing is, it's not just that she gets faster, her damage gets buffed as well. This playthrough, I think we got it first time, because we've only had 1 solar eclipse. Taking out the background walls? No, it's a lack of jungle blocks is what's... It's not the granite overriding the jungle, because the granite doesn't override the jungle. It's a problem of not enough jungle blocks on screen when we are over here. Didn't have normal underground music. Not quite enough. Well, maybe. I don't know. Let's see what happens. If we... No, because I mean, we can be behind it here. When we get down here. And then right here, we're in jungle again. I don't know. We'll give it a try. Who knows, maybe it will make a difference. Holy cow, I think it actually made a difference. Either that or we finally have enough jungle blocks from that grass growing. Normally jungle will override pretty much anything else. With the exception of like Crimson and Corruption. In which case you'll just have both. I don't know. Maybe override's the wrong word to use there. Alright, I think we're good. Bunch of banners that we don't need. Let me just double check. Alright, spawn point is set. Have our potions. I really should have reforged that, but whatever. Those guys. $251 pirate invasions to get the pirate staff. Good lord, the pirate staff's not even good. Yeah, I understand wanting to collect everything. It just sucks for an item that's not even good. I don't know that I would have had the patience for that one. Alright, time for Plantera. Ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to use the Death Sickle for the first part. Well, we might use the Death Sickle for the whole thing. I don't know. We'll see. Ow. What a jerk. Healing, please. A pretty cool map at the end. I would believe it, with that much time spent on one world. We'll be fine. Flying Blade? Flying Knife? I actually am a big fan of it. One of my favorite melee weapons. What you gotta do is use it on Destroyer. It's kind of hilarious how effective it is against Destroyer. Alright, here we go. Plant lady incoming. Yeah. Taking a few hits. Not really doing much of anything to us, though. Gently lead her back. Stop firing so quickly. Come on. Let's go. Alright. I think maybe we're going to switch weapons here. So, for the first part of Plantera, really just circling her is pretty much the best strategy. Just so much defense. Well, she's got Ichor now. Ichor debuff does a pretty good job of dropping that defense down. Almost into stage 2. Then things get a little bit spooky. And the best thing to do is just kind of slowly drop and then try to get above her. Then try to get above her. How fast she moves seems to be in relation to how fast you move. Chasing me good, so trying to get away with this weapon here. Yep, she's almost dead. Nope, getting stuck. Spider's doing work. There we go, didn't even need to heal. Well, other than the heart pickup. I did get some heart pickups. Hey, mythical pygmy staff. Not bad. King Slime drops slime staff? I don't believe he does, but you have a... The thing is, he does spawn a lot of slimes. The blue slimes that he spawns during the fight do have a normal drop rate of the slime staff. So, farming King Slime is still a moderately effective way of farming for that weapon if you want it. Just because it's pretty easy to make the summon for King Slime. 20 gel, 5 gold bars, and a ruby. I mean, by the end of pre-hard mode, you should have more than enough materials to make a handful. Setting up an automated farm with a slime statue is probably the easiest way to go about it, though. Two weeks, you're getting Terraria? Nice. Something happened to my other computer. I'm not sure what. It's not good. Well, Plant Lady's dead. Let's throw the jungle temple key away, put it in the trash. Can't find a slime statue? Well, my advice is keep looking. I don't know what to tell you. How do you play video games? I don't know what to tell you. I can tell you that slime staff really isn't very good. I mean, if you want to get it just for, like, collecting's sake, I understand that. What you could do is take a character that you've progressed a bit with that has some good mobility and decent mining speed and just make a few new worlds. and take a look around. Your best bet for finding statues are underground rooms and the dungeon. Plant Lady Thursday? Sure thing. So, like, you see, this underground room has 3 different statues in it. So, underground rooms, Spelunker Potion would help, because you can see chests underground with a Spelunker Potion. That'll tell you where the rooms are. Also, the dungeon tends to have a pretty high amount of statues. Doing a legit summoner playthrough and defeating Queen Bee with 1 slime is so annoying. Well, you could fish for a summoner potion and have yourself 2 slimes. Or you could do the smart thing and just ignore the slime staff entirely. Go without a weapon. Get the stuff you need for a iron fishing pole. Get some stars. Some worms. Make yourself some enchanted night crawlers. Go to the beach. Fish up a reaver shark. Go down to hell. Sorry, the underworld. Mine up 60 hellstone ore and 20 obsidian, and then you've got yourself an imp staff. An actually good weapon. And I've done it with absolutely no weapon. It took a while, but it's definitely doable. And if you're going to do a summons only run, that would be my suggested way of doing it. It's just ignore the slime staff. Otherwise, you'll just spend hours grinding for a subpar weapon that you'll only use for like maybe an hour before you switch to something stronger. Truth be told, you can skip the hornet staff